The first problem with this government is it refuses to admit its mistakes. The second problem with this government is it's living in denial. It simply will not accept that the state of the economy is extremely bad. The government believes that the problems are cyclical and not structural. Their own chief economic advisor for nearly 4 years has repeatedly said, and he said it again 4 days ago, the problems are more structural than cyclical. Why are you unwilling to share with the country the real state of the economy? So there are two reports, and both are extremely important for the people of India. There was a report in 2018 called the Periodic Labour Force Survey. It found that the unemployment rate was at a 45-year high at 6.1% at the end of 2017-18. Contrary to popular belief, urban unemployment is also bad. The 6.1% is made of 5.3% of rural unemployment and 7.8% of urban unemployment. Now, why did you suppress this report? Because it was on the eve of elections, and you did not want the people of India to know the true state of affairs as far as employment is concerned. There's an even more worrying report, and I want honorable members to pay attention to that. I beg you. Even more worrying report. The 75th round of the NSSO did a survey of consumer expenditure, and it has to be quarterly updated. The finding is, between 2011-12 and 2017-18, consumption fell by 3.7%, rural consumption fell by 8.8%, rural food consumption fell by 10%. 40% of our children are already undernourished, stunted and wasted. You know that data. Rural consumption has fallen by 10%. The chief economic advisor says that the economy is in the ICU. Not my words, his words. Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee said the economy is doing very badly. All that he said was the economy is doing very badly. Yes, ministers pounced upon him.
Ministers?
Ministers pounced upon him. Be that as it may. The chief economic advisor of your government for 4 years says the economy is in an ICU. I disagree. I think the patient has to be wheeled into the ICU. Unfortunately, the patient is being kept out of the ICU, and incompetent doctors are now looking at the patient. Of course, you will not consult the opposition parties.
No.
The Congress, of course, is untouchable.
You consult no one.
The rest of the opposition is looked upon with great contempt. So you will not consult anyone. You will not even go across to Dr. Manmohan Singh and ask him, listen, what do you have to say? I think it's dangerous to have the patient outside the ICU.
They don't deny priority.
We know what will happen if the patient who has to be wheeled into an ICU is kept outside the ICU and looked upon by incompetent doctors. Now, what is the purpose of standing around the patient and chanting, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas? The patient is not going to revive. The patient will revive only if competent doctors attend to the patient and administer medicine. Every competent doctor that you identified and you appointed has left the country. You made sure Dr. Raghuram Rajan left. You made sure Dr. Arvind Subramanian left. You made sure Dr. Urjit Patel left. You made sure Dr. Arvind Panagariya could not stay on longer, although he's willing, and even now he's willing, I'm told. All right, you get rid of these doctors. Who are your doctors? Who are your doctors, I want to know.
Quacks.
Don't you need competent doctors to treat this patient who's in the ICU today? I'll give you a list of heads under which you spent less than the budget in the current year. On food, you promised to spend 1,84,000 crore. You will spend only 1,08,000 crore on the food subsidy. We want the finance minister to explain what happened to the remaining 76,000 crore. On agriculture, you promised to spend 1,51,000 crore. You spent only 1,20,000 crore. What happened to the remaining 31,000 crore? PM Kisan, 75,000 crore. You will spend only 54,000 crore. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, 19,000 crore. You will spend only 14,000 crore. Midday meal scheme.
Yes.
Is there anything more important than the MMS? 11,000 crore, you will spend only 9,900. Are the children saying we don't want a midday meal? ICDS, 27,000 crore, you will spend only 25,000 crore. On skill development, you talk about jobs being created. You promised to spend 7,260 crore, you will spend only 5,749 crore. On Ayushman Bharat, a favorite of the government, you promised to spend 6,556 crore, you will spend only 3,384.
Yes.
And on ICDS, which goes along with midday meal, 27,585 crore, you will spend only 25,000 crore. On each of these critical programs, food subsidy, agriculture, PM Kisan, Gram Sadak Yojana, midday meal scheme, ICDS, skill development, you're not spending the money that you promised to spend. And next year you're allocating money. Why should I believe that you will spend the money, or you will have the money in the first place? And if you have the money, you will spend the money? So net result today is we have an economy which is perilously close to collapse. It has to be attended to by very competent doctors.
We slide into recession.
In the last few years, we have found that the doctors are not so competent. They are living in denial,
Quacks.
and they are ignoring the two big elephants in the room. One is rising unemployment, and the second is falling consumption. If unemployment rises and consumption falls, India is becoming poorer, Indians are becoming poorer, not richer.